Does it know me? The question echoed in my mind as I stood frozen in my backyard, staring up at the old oak tree that had stood sentinel there for as long as I could remember. Its gnarled branches reached towards the sky like twisted fingers, and its leaves rustled in the gentle breeze. But this time, the rustling sounded different, almost like a whisper. Then, clearer than any rustle of leaves, I heard it. My name. Ben. My backyard was my sanctuary, a patch of green in the middle of the city, dominated by the ancient oak. I'd spent countless hours under its shade, reading, dreaming, just being. It was a silent, comforting presence, a fixture in the landscape of my life. I never thought of it as anything more than just a tree, until that morning. I was watering my tomato plants when I heard it. A low, resonant voice that seemed to come from above. I looked around, thinking it was Mrs. Henderson from next door, but she wasn't in her yard. Then, I heard it again, closer this time. Ben, is that you? I looked up at the oak, its leaves shimmering in the sunlight. Could it be? Impossible. Trees don't talk. I must be hearing things. The stress of work was probably getting to me. I finished watering and headed back inside, trying to shake off the strange experience. But the feeling that I had heard something significant, lingered. Later that day, as I was having lunch on my patio, I heard it again. Ben, you seem troubled. This time there was no mistaking it. The voice was coming from the oak tree. It was deep and resonant, like the rustling of 1,000 leaves, yet perfectly understandable. I stood up, my heart pounding. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice trembling slightly. "It is I, Ben, the one who has watched you grow." I stared at the tree, my mind reeling. This couldn't be real. Was I dreaming? Had I finally gone crazy? I cautiously approached the tree, reaching out to touch its rough bark. You can talk?" I stammered. A low chuckle seemed to emanate from the tree. "Indeed. I have been able to talk for a very long time. You humans just rarely listen." I spent the rest of the afternoon in a state of bewildered fascination, talking to the tree. It told me stories of the neighborhood, of the generations of families who had lived in my house, of the birds that had nested in its branches. It was like having a conversation with the oldest, wisest resident of my town. Over the next few days, the tree, who introduced itself as Old Man Willow, despite being an oak, started revealing things about me, things it shouldn't have known. "Ben, you're still worried about that presentation on Friday, aren't you?" I hadn't told anyone about my anxiety. "You miss your grandmother's apple pie." A pang of nostalgia hit me. It had been years since I had tasted her pie. Old Man Willow seemed to know my thoughts, my feelings, my deepest memories. "How do you know all this?" I asked one day, my voice filled with a mixture of wonder and unease. "I have seen much, Ben. I have felt the vibrations of your joys and your sorrows in the earth beneath my roots. The wind carries your thoughts to my leaves." It was surreal, this ancient being in my backyard knowing more about me than some of my closest friends. The question from the thumbnail kept popping into my head. Does it know me? It wasn't just knowing. It was understanding. It was offering gentle advice, quiet observations, almost like a silent, leafy confidant. Then came the revelation that truly shook me. I had a secret, a regret from my past that I had never shared with anyone. One evening, as I was sitting under Old Man Willow, feeling the weight of that memory, the tree spoke, its voice softer than usual. "Ben, you need to forgive yourself for what happened all those years ago. It was not your fault." Tears welled up in my eyes. It was exactly what I needed to hear, words of comfort and validation coming from the most unexpected source. I looked up at the tree, its glowing eyes, as hinted at in the mid-journey prompt. I could almost imagine them now, wise and knowing, seeming to look directly into my soul. How could it know? Was Old Man Willow more than just a tree? Was it a guardian, a witness, a silent keeper of the neighborhood's history and secrets? Maybe the natural world around us is far more sentient than we ever realize, its roots intertwined with our lives in ways we can't even imagine. What if the trees in our backyards hold ancient wisdom, waiting for us to finally listen? Have you ever felt a connection to a particular tree or place in nature? Share your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Inverted Everyday Stories for more tales from the unexpected. And tell us, if a tree in your backyard could talk, what's the first question you would ask it?